get going. Number 1. What is the busiest cruise port in the world? The entire world. I did just very, very quickly type in all of these questions. Not the best at spelling. If there are any spelling mistakes, then please do forgive me. But what is the busiest cruise port in the entire world? You can write the answers there or whatever side the comments are on if you want to. I'm not judging points for you, and you might give everybody else the answer if you just flood the comments with the correct answer, but I'm not saying anything. Let's put that out of the way. So the busiest cruise port in the entire world. Let's move on to question number 2. What is the currency of Norway? This one I think is a bit tricky. Even if you think you know the answer, it's slightly different from all of the other countries that are close to Norway. Hello to everyone who's joining me. We've got lots of people from the UK here. We've got the Netherlands, Miami, loads of places. I've got a question here that says, what is that program you are using? It's called StreamYard, and it's pretty cool. You do have to pay for it. You can have different people on the screen too. I'm a bit nervous about just inviting random people on at the moment. I'm kind of getting used to this, but it's pretty cool. You can have these comments, you can have the questions, and it kind of does everything that I want to do. You have to pay different like bandings. If you want to do more things, you pay more. I'm kind of in the middle, so I can stream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time, which is really, really cool. So that question is, what is the currency of Norway? On to question number 3. What was Royal Caribbean's first cruise ship called? I don't know why I know this one. I just know this one. It's just always been something that I've known. The first cruise ship for Royal Caribbean, and they have been through so many cruise ships. Maybe that's a good question for me to do next week. I've got a comment that says, whatever the currency is, it's still £11 for a beer in Norway. And that's not even an exaggeration. I went to Norway on a cruise with Viking, and I had a pint of cider, a pint of some berry cider or something, and it genuinely came out to about £12 once it had translated it. Whew. So I see correct answers there to what is Royal Caribbean's first cruise ship. Moving on now to question number 4. Who is the godmother of Royal Princess? I'm not sure if this is something that Americans would know, or maybe they would, I don't know. There is not a Norway theme to these questions, no, that is true. Who is the godmother of Royal Princess? This all kind of happened before I was in the cruising blogging scene. I never paid any attention to it, but it is a big, important godmother. So who is the godmother of Royal Princess? Moving on now to question number 5. How many ships does Disney Cruise Line have? Actually, it's less than I thought. I haven't cruised with Disney. I'm watching Disney films at the moment on Disney Plus. There's so many that I've never seen. I've never really been into Disney that much. I'm not sure if that's a massive statement that I shouldn't say, but I've never really been that into Disney. I haven't been to Disneyland Paris or Disneyland in Florida, and the price really has just kept me away from trying them. But how many ships do Disney Cruise Line have? If I had loads of money and time off work, I would love to cruise to Disney. I really, really would. I've got 2 nieces, and they would love to cruise with Disney. But for the moment, for me right now, it's out of my budget. Disney is overrated. I've got a comment there. I'm not sure. I never really fell in love with the Disney thing. I'm just not sure. How old are you when you take your first cruise? I was 11 years old on my first cruise, and I am so glad, because I cruised when I was 11, then when I was 13 and 15, I think, maybe kind of every 2 or 3 years, I took a cruise. And my parents have said, you know, we did a big family cruise, and if it wasn't for that, they don't know if they ever would have taken me on a cruise, and I don't know if I ever would have gone on a cruise with myself. Someone has said, more time off work, lol. I'm still working at the moment. I can work from home, so I don't really have any more time off than I normally do at the moment. I know a lot of people are working from home, but I'm very grateful I work in insurance and insurance is fine. I hope you're all okay at the moment. This is a really weird and scary and just horrible situation, but we'll get through it and we will cruise again and we'll keep our spirits up doing things like this. So on now to question number 6. Which princess cruise ship is the smallest? I love princess cruise ships. I love all their swimming pools. I love their everything. This one is really, really small. I hadn't looked it up until I looked for this question. She's half the size of any other of the princess cruise ships. Wasn't made for princess, I don't think. And I suppose that shows, but a lovely cruise ship. I've been on her for a day visit, I think. So which princess cruise ship is the smallest? I see correct answers. I see wrong answers. I like just seeing your answers, so just keep them coming. On now to question number 7. An easy one for the Brits, I think. What is the largest cruise port in the UK? It is my local cruise port, and it is, I would say, my favourite. I mean, it normally rains there, so it's not normally my favourite place to cruise out of, but it does make cruising very, very easy for me. So what is the largest cruise port in the UK? This is by passenger numbers, but it probably is by everything else too. Cruise ships, cruises, everything. Hi Emma, stay safe. When do you think Princess will be back cruising? We miss cruising. I miss cruising so much too. I did just put out a video called When Will We Cruise Again? I think it's going to be probably about 6 months is my guess at the moment. I think we're in lockdown here in the UK. That's not going to end anytime soon. And the cruise industry, it has bigger problems at the moment than getting cruising again. They have ships out there with crew members on them that can't dock. They need to sort that out first. So I think it's going to be quite a while until we cruise again, sadly, but it's going to be even better than ever before, I think, to sit on a balcony with a drink, watch the world go by, eat. I think it's going to be it's going to be amazing. So looking forward to it when we do cruise again, and I'd love to book a princess cruise, definitely. So what is the name of the cruise port which is often called Rome? This is one of those cruise ports that is called Rome and nowhere near Rome. I mean, hours and hours and hours away from Rome. The same way that in the UK we have Southampton, and Southampton is London. And if you're from the UK, Southampton and London, I mean, it's a few hours on a train away. It's not the same thing. I do feel sorry for people who maybe don't know that and they think, yay, I'm going to London. And you've got to factor in this train trip, and it's just not that easy. I should give you guys a bonus point if you do manage to spell this. I have seen some really funny spellings there. It took me, I don't know, 2 years to learn how to just pronounce this word. So what is the cruise port normally called? Rome, or the gateway to Rome, or the port of Rome, or something. I'm really liking some of these spellings. On now to question number 9. Which cruise line has go-kart tracks on some of their cruise ships? Normally the cruise lines just copy each other, but I don't think any other cruise lines have copied this cruise line. So on which cruise line will you find go-kart tracks? I'm still loving some of those comments. Lots of answers coming in there. Please let me know if you're watching this from YouTube or from Facebook. I can see some Facebook things coming up at the moment, which is very exciting. My mum has just joined in here. Hello to my mum. I will video call you later, Mum. I haven't done that yet today. I hope you guys are all messaging your family and your friends and just trying to keep talking to them. This is probably the most dressed and together I have been in the last week because there's no reason. I'm working from home in my pajamas. I'm going out for a walk. But yeah, I thought for you guys, I'm going to actually wear proper clothes. I'm even wearing not pajamas on the bottom. So you guys, you're so lucky. Hey Emma, how is Hudson coping with the pandemic? Hudson is my lovely, lovely cat. and he's coping just fine with the pandemic. All that's happened is that I've been able to see what he gets up to during the day, and he does nothing. He just sleeps all day. He goes out at night. I think most cats are quite active kind of in the morning and the evening, and during the day he's just asleep. It really makes no difference to me. So let's move on. Where did we get to? Question number 10. On which cruise line will you find Oceans? If there is an Oceans or Ocean, Shehands, or however you want to say it, if there is one, I will be there because I just love it. I just love it. So if you are in Oceans, on which cruise line are you? One of my favorite places on this cruise line. I see questions. I see some people who say no idea, which is good because some of you guys asked for harder questions, so we've got harder questions coming in here. Please let me know if you want me to carry on with this kind of cruise theme. I think I could think of hundreds of thousands of cruise-related questions, and I think it's quite nice to have cruise-related things to think about when we're not cruising, but I could do different things if you wanted to. Let me know. Thank you all for coming back as well. I really appreciate it. If you did do last week and you thought, I'll do that again, and I didn't put you off, I really appreciate it if you've come back. And if it is your first time here too, thank you. This is exciting, and I hope it entertains you for a little bit. Cruise questions, of course. I think cruise questions too. There's so many other trivia things going on and stuff, and you know, this is a cruise space. It is really hard, I mean, to have a cruise channel when no one is cruising, so I'm just trying to keep things light and keep, you know, spirits up, because I mean my spirits are up. I feel fine. Let's just keep going. We'll get there and it will be so good. Question number 11. How many decks do most river cruise ships have? Almost all river cruise ships have this number. I think there are a few maybe that have different, but almost all river cruise ships have this many decks. I like this comment that says, where is it gone? You guys are commenting so fast. As soon as I see something, it's like off the top of my screen. It seems like cruise questions is the answer. Can you do some questions about codes? No, I work in data development by day and I do coding for a living, and you don't want to know about that. So we'll just keep talking about cruises. Does the top sun deck / roof count? Yeah, any kind of usable by the passengers or crew deck, I think, counts as a deck. So I've been on 2 river cruises and both the ships had this same number of decks. Almost all do. Yeah. Moving on to question number 12. What does MSC stand for? I'm not sure if everyone will know this. This is something I just picked up somewhere along the way. I'm talking about the cruise MSc, of course, not Masters of Science or whatever other things MSc stands for. What does the cruise line MSc, what does it stand for? Moving on, question number 13. The Marella Discovery was originally a Royal Caribbean ship. What was her name? I love this cruise ship. This is one of my favorite cruise ships. She was built in the 1990s, if that helps you, originally for Royal Caribbean, and she was bought by Marella. It's been refurbished so many times, but there's so many things about this ship that just scream Royal Caribbean to me, which is really, really cool. So it has the bar that's around the funnel, which is really Royal Caribbean-y, and it has a big atrium in the middle, and they used to do kind of like acrobatics, I suppose, in the atrium when it was a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. So I love it. I've got a comment here that says, hi Emma, I'm supposed to be on a cruise now. So am I. I'm supposed to be on a river cruise right now. I was invited by River Voyages to go on a river cruise with Scenic, and I was going to take my dad and I was going to introduce him to river cruising, which I was really, really looking forward to. He's never been on a river cruise. It's not something I would just randomly decide, you know, me and dad will go on a river cruise together, but I was invited to take over their social media and things like that. So I was really looking forward to it. And I should be on the Danube right now. I'm sorry to hear about your cruise, and anyone who's had cruises cancelled. It's a really, really tough time, but we will reschedule. We'll get back there. And I see comments here that say I haven't a clue, and that's exactly what I wanted. I hope I haven't made them too difficult this time, but you guys asked for more difficult questions. On to number 14. What is a Friends of Bill W meeting on a cruise? So who are the people who are friends of Bill W? I did see a thing on Facebook, and it said, I'm not sure if it was a joke or if it was real, and it said, you know, why does Bill W and Dorothy always have so many friends on a cruise? And it's because it's not a person, it means something. So if you're on a cruise and you look in your daily schedule and it says Friends of Bill W meeting, what does that mean? Who else can you expect to find there? I see some answers and some question marks, which is exactly what I wanted. On to question number 15 now. Which cruise line has real grass lawns on board some ships? I have been on a cruise ship and I have sat on the real grass lawn on top of the cruise ship. Very, very cool, very relaxing, very nice, very, very nice. It's an odd idea. I feel like it probably takes a lot of upkeep for them to keep mowing the lawn and watering the lawn, I suppose, but it always looks nice. So if you are on a cruise ship and you're sitting on a real grass lawn, on which cruise line are you? Moving on to question number 16. How many passengers does P&O's Britannia hold? If you get this within 1,000 passengers, I'm gonna give you a point, because if you know the exact number off the top of your head, then I don't know. I'm pretty sure that most of you guys don't know the exact number, but roughly, how many passengers does P&O's Britannia hold? I've only been on one P&O cruise, and it was on the P&O Britannia. It was fantastic. I loved the cups of tea, the Yorkshire puddings, the UK plug sockets. It was good. It was really, really nice. It was a very relaxing cruise. I cruised the Norwegian fjords with my mum. It was good. I liked it. I haven't cruised any other cruises with P&O yet. I did/do really want to cruise on Iona, but Iona has been delayed, and I'm not sure when we're going to be cruising again. But there's some bargains on Iona, really, really cheap cruises. So hopefully I'll get to cruise on her. Sometime this year would be really, really nice, but if not, at least next year, I'm hoping. On to question number 17. True or false, some people can cruise to Cuba? I'm not going to say anything about this. I have been to Cuba, not on a cruise, and it was fantastic. So, true or false? I hope you guys are all, oh my goodness. I hope you guys are all okay and exercising as much as you can and eating fruits and vegetables. I went shopping. Here in the UK, they've put in all of these measures to keep people apart from each other while they're shopping. And I haven't been to a proper supermarket for about 3 weeks. And I was really nervous about it because I kept seeing all of these long lines and queues and things online. And I went and it was fine. I walked straight in. I went quite late in the evening. Everyone stayed the recommended 2 meters away from me. There were loads of cleaning stations. There were most things that I needed. I bought enough stuff so that I don't have to go outside again. And it really wasn't that bad. So I see lots of questions. One says, go to a corner shop for toilet paper. There was loads of toilet paper. I went in a big supermarket and the whole toilet paper aisle was completely back to normal. So I'm hoping that everyone was stockpiling in case of a lockdown quarantine. And now that we have it, I hope that that's it and we'll go back to normal now. But yeah, we will see. So that question just quickly is true or false. Some people can cruise to Cuba. On now to question number 18. The Queen Mary is now a hotel. Where is she? I have stayed on this cruise ship and it was before I really appreciated it. I wish that I'm very grateful my parents took me there and It was really, really cool. But if I went now, I would be taking so many pictures. I would be filming so many videos. I think I took about, I don't know, 5 pictures during that entire time. So where is the Queen Mary? Really cool. If ever you are in this place and you get the chance to visit, definitely spend a night on board. But if you do spend a night on board, look up all of the ghost stories and things afterwards. I stayed and I came home and I watched Most Haunted, which is this weird ghost show in the UK. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people died on there. It's a bit scary, but it's an old ship. It's an old ship, and I'm glad I went. So where is she right now? She's not sailing, but I'm glad that they have made her into a hotel. She's definitely an interesting piece of history. So let's keep that history going. On now, we are nearly at the end of the questions. We're on question number 19. How many decks does Symphony of the Seas have? Symphony of the Seas, a big cruise ship, if that gives you a little clue. And how many decks does she have? This is decks that passengers or crew can go to, so usable decks. I think a few of them are just crew decks, but I'm still counting them as usable decks. How many decks does Symphony of the Seas have? I don't know about you, but I cannot spell, or really, I struggle saying the word symphony. Symphony. I can't spell it. There's so many things I can't spell. I still struggle spelling the word Mediterranean, and you think I'd know that by now. Spelling is not my thing. I studied maths at university. I code for a living. It's kind of more on the math side than the spelling. Spelling's not. But we have spell check. I don't need to spell. It knows roughly what I mean. On now to question number 20. What is the AquaDuck on a Disney cruise ship? AquaDuck. An interesting name. I like it. I would love to try the AquaDuck. Maybe one day I will. Any guesses what it is? The name kind of gives it away a little bit, but not too much. So I'm just going to really quickly read you through the questions, just in case you have missed any. Just really quickly, because I don't know. Please let me know if you want me to go faster or slower. Because I did have messages after the show last time that said, can you speed it up? And then some said, can you slow down? And I don't know what to do. So let me know, faster or slower. Just going to read them quickly and then we will go through the answers. So we have got question number 1. What is the busiest cruise port in the world? Question number 2. What is the currency of Norway? Question number 3. What was Royal Caribbean's first cruise ship called? Question 4. Who is the godmother of the royal princess? Question 5. How many ships does Disney Cruise Line currently have? Which princess cruise ship is the smallest is question number 6. Question number 7. What is the largest cruise port in the UK? Question number 8. What is the name of the cruise port often called Rome? Question number 9. Which cruise line has got go-kart tracks on their cruise ships? Question number 10. On which cruise line will you find oceans? I've been sitting on my foot this entire time, and I'm just going to move it because I can't feel my foot. Ow. I don't know why I always sit in such silly positions, but I do. So there we go. Oh, that hurts. Hey, please excuse my squeaky chair. I'll get a new one day. Question number 11. How many decks do most river cruise ships have? Question number 12. What does MSC stand for? 13. The Marella Discovery was originally a Royal Caribbean ship. What was her Royal Caribbean name? What is a Friends of Bill W meeting on a cruise is question number 14. Question 15. Which cruise line has real grass lawns on board some of their cruise ships on the top deck? Question number 16. How many passengers, roughly, does P&O's Britannia hold? True or false, some people can cruise to Cuba is question number 17. Question number 18 is the Queen Mary is a hotel. Where is she currently at the moment? Question number 19. How many decks does Symphony of the Seas have? Question number 20. What is the AquaDuck on a Disney cruise ship? Some people say I have a good pace. So good pace, too fast, too slow. I'm just going to stick with what I do. So one comment says, when will you play piano for us, Emma? When I can play piano very well, maybe then. I think this lockdown is a good time for me to learn the piano, and I have a guitar there, I have a ukulele. I always get these ideas that I can play instruments, and it's hard. The piano is my favorite for sure, but maybe when I get better at it, I'll play you it. Is everyone okay? Everyone good? Everyone got their answers? Everybody ready? Please let me know, and I'll get on with the answers. Just gonna have some more squash. Okay, moving on with the answers. I'm gonna ask you guys the questions, and then I'm gonna wait for the correct answer to come up. I've got them all on my phone here. Ready? Steady? I've just got a comment that says, oh, proceed on, please. That's not what I meant to share, but that works. How come your plant is normal this time? I turned off the green screen function that I didn't know I had turned on. So I'm hoping it will be okay. I am considering getting a green screen. I did find this big green screen onesie that you can wear. So if I put that on, I would be invisible, which could be quite fun. So let's move on. Oh, I have a nice comment that says, thanks for bringing sunshine into our cloudy day. We've had a lovely day here in the UK. Sunshine in the UK. Madness. Apparently it's going to be a good weekend, so fingers crossed. Okay, back to the questions. Question number 1. What is the busiest cruise port in the world? I'm going to wait for the answer. I saw a lot of you guys put the correct answer there. I have to just let you know that my next door neighbours have just got a trampoline, and they have got 2 young girls that are on the trampoline. So if you hear screaming, that's where it came from. They're bouncing around and getting out their energy, I guess. I used to have a trampoline and it was fantastic. So what is the busiest cruise port in the world? Loads of correct answers here. We've got Miami, 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 Miami. The answer is Miami. Well done to anybody who got that. I have cruised out of Miami only once, maybe twice. And I would love to be in Miami in the sunshine right now with a drink. Whew, fantastic. Question number 2. What is the currency of Norway? I didn't think all of you guys would know this, especially if you're from America, but yeah, my mum says I've cruised out of Miami twice. So I guess that means once with her and once without her. Oh, my mum has gone for the technically wrong answer here. Whoa. The very common wrong answer is krone. I think it's krone. Krone. Just krone, I think. No. Krone. I'm just gonna check. I'm pretty sure it's krone. Norway currency is krone. I'm sorry if you put krone. You're not getting any points because that's wrong. So loads of krona, different things. You're going to have to go with the exact correct spelling to get any points from me, and that is this one, krone. See, you guys asked for more difficult questions. So my mum says, there's loads of other countries that have krona, so I completely understand why people get that wrong. I probably would get that one wrong too. I like William's answer, Norway money, but the answer is krone. On to question number 3. What was Royal Caribbean's first cruise ship called? I think this one's tricky. I don't think I would have got this one. It is strange that I could just sit here on my phone and just... What is Royal Caribbean's first cruise ship called? Ooh, I've got an answer that says the plural is krone. Okay, you can have krone with an R, but not with an A. That's where I'm Drawing the line. The correct answer is Song of Norway. Well done to everybody who got that. Loads of correct answers here. You guys are smart. I don't know if, why do you know that? Tell me why you know that, because that's not a thing I know. I think that cruise ship was 1970 is my guess. I mean, I wasn't alive in 1970. Maybe that's my excuse, but I wouldn't know that. So well done everybody who got that one. That is brilliant. Who is the godmother of the royal princess? The royal princess. I think the royal princess gives it away a little bit with its royal princessy name. But who is the godmother of the royal princess? Oh. Ah, yes. We have got Kate. The Duchess of Cambridge. Kate Middleton is the answer. Kate. I think Kate will do. If you have anything about Kate Middleton, Duchess of Cambridge, you can have that one too. So yeah, congratulations. Mr. Wigan Dave, you get most of these questions right. I'm very, very impressed. Duchess of Cambridge. Well done, everybody. You're doing fantastic. Fantastically. On now to question number 5. How many ships does Disney Cruise Line have? I thought they had more than this. Don't know if that helps you. But they actually don't have that many cruise ships. But I suppose they don't need to because, I mean, people will pay a premium to go on a Disney cruise if they love Disney. And it looks like, I'm sure if you love Disney, it looks like the most amazing thing in the world. The correct answer is number 4. Well done to everybody who got number 4. Loads of 4s coming in here. Well done, everybody. That's good. The correct answer is 4. I would have guessed probably 6, maybe. If you guessed 5 or 6, then you're probably similar to me. But the answer is only 4. Which princess cruise ship is the smallest? Princess have a lot of ships, actually, and they're definitely some of my favorite cruise ships just because they feel really spacious. I'm not sure if they actually are per person, per space, kind of. But it feels like you don't have to fight for a sun lounger on princess cruises, and you don't have to wander around for ages trying to get a seat. It just feels like there's a lot of space. So the correct answer is Pacific Princess. Pacific Princess Love Boat. If you just put Love Boat, I would accept that because there was a TV show called The Love Boat and Pacific Princess was the superstar. I have to admit, I never watched The Love Boat because I think it was just a bit before my time, and I never have gone back to watch The Love Boat. But the cruise ships do the little Love Boat tune, and they're still living up to the kind of romantic cruising princess thing. So I like this suggestion of Tiny Princess. That's a really nice name. But the name is Pacific Princess. The R class. Very fancy. On now to question number 7. What is the largest cruise port in the UK? I have a comment that just says, you are so young. I'm 26 now. The oldest that I have ever been. It doesn't feel young to me. It feels quite old to me, but yeah. What is the largest cruise port in the UK? My local cruise port. I love cruising out of this cruise port, but the only thing is that the weather is normally just rubbish. So if I get the choice, I'd probably fly to Barcelona or somewhere and then be in the sunshine straight away. We have got Southampton. I like that. Southampton. Loads of Southampton answers. The answer is Southampton. It does make me laugh when it says Southampton, London, because it's not. But then they do the same with airports. They do the same with cruise ports. It's just, it is by far our largest cruise port. The second is Dover, I think, which I've cruised out of Dover too, but the cruise I took out of Dover, it didn't go anywhere. We were on the new Spirit of Discovery, the Saga cruise ship, and something went wrong with the fire system, so we couldn't dock or sail. So we just sailed for some time and then we came back. What is the name of the cruise port often called Rome? Wow, I'm sure Mr. Wigan Dave is writing these answers before. My mum says we went to the Baltics from Dover. Did we? I think I was 14, 13 maybe. So my mum has a better memory on that. Apparently I've cruised out of Dover then too. The answer to the question is, yeah, that's how I feel as well. Civitavecchia, or however you spell it. Civica something, yeah, the answer is, I think that's the correct spelling. So well done to Go Cruise and Travel with Tina, Tony and Dan. Well done, Civitavecchia. And it does always say Rome. And the thing is it's, we have made the journey on the train before and it was awful. We decided to use the local tourist trains. Is that your chair still making sounds? Yes. We used the local tourist train to get from Rome to Civitavecchia. It was cheap, but man, it was standing in the aisles and people were shouting at each other in Italian and doing all of these gestures. And then, oh God, it was really, really dramatic. So if I went again, I probably wouldn't do that, to be honest with you. But normally, if I'm going on a cruise to Rome, I will stay in Civitavecchia. I won't go to Rome if I only have a day there, because I mean, being from the UK, it's relatively easy for me to go to Rome. I do know how lucky that makes me that I can go to Rome if I want to, but the hassle of going from Civitavecchia, for me, no, probably not. Moving on now, we have got, which cruise line has go-kart tracks on their cruise ships? Oh, we have got Bonnie and Bubba and Princess here, probably. Thank you for being fashionably late. I appreciate it whenever you show up for these streams. Even if you're watching this later and you're not on the live stream, thank you for watching it. I appreciate it. Not everyone is free at this odd time that I'm free, but it works for me. So going back to which cruise line has got go-kart tracks on their cruise ships? Loads of correct answers here. NCL, Norwegian Cruise Line, your favourite cruise line. One of my favourite cruise lines for sure. I've cruised with them forever. Loads of correct answers. You guys have got that. Norwegian Cruise Line, NCL, any of those things you can have. On now to on which cruise line will you find Oceans? Dun dun dun. I thought I could maybe put you guys off the scent a little bit with this one and kind of not confuse you, but make you question it, because the answer again is Norwegian Cruise Line. Yay. Norwegian again. Yeah, the answer is Norwegian again. I know if I'm doing a quiz and the same answer comes up twice, I'm thinking, have I done something wrong here? But the answer is Norwegian Cruise Line. I love Oceans. It's not the highest, I mean, it's not high class fancy food. It is hot dogs and burgers and fajitas and chicken wings and mozzarella sticks and stuff like that. But it's open pretty much all the time. You can go between meals if you want, just to pick up some buffalo wings. It's fantastic. On the new ships, it's called the Local now. On the old ones, it was Blue Lagoon, but it's pretty much the same thing. They have cookies there most of the time too, which is fantastic. So if you're someone like me who kind of, I like eating in pubs and bars and just grabbing food, then Oceans it's good. It's nice. Well done to everybody who got that right. It seems like a lot of correct answers there. How many decks do most river cruise ships have? I thought I'd throw in a random river cruise question here. It surprised me when I took my first river cruise that there's not really that much crossover between river and ocean cruises. I kind of assumed that most people on a river cruise would have been on an ocean cruise, or the other way around, but not really. Oh, I see a lot of answers. Some of them are wrong. 5 is wrong. 4 is wrong. 3, I'm going to go with as the correct answer. Yay! I'm counting a deck. Normally, there's one with a lounge, one with a bar, and one on the top where you might have a giant chess set or a swimming pool or something like that. So I'm going to go with the answer of 3. I like this random comment that just says travel lodge sucks. I quite like travel lodges. I'm on a budget. So they're clean, they're on a budget, they're everywhere. If you're coming to the UK and you want a cheap cruise, I'm not a cruise, a cheap hotel, travel lodge. Well done to everybody who's put 3. The correct answer, as far as I'm concerned, is 3. What a gorgeous cat there, Anna. Thank you for having that as your profile picture. Moving on now to, what does MSC stand for? Dun, 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 dun. Silence. You guys don't know what MSC stands for. You see MSC shipping containers around everywhere, and I think that should, that's a bit of a clue. No. Oh, we've got some good guesses, but they're not correct. We've got Mediterranean. The correct answer. Yes, Mediterranean Shipping Company. Yay, well done everybody. MSC aren't just cruise ships. They have they're big shipping ships. Shipping ships? Is that the right thing? They're big shipping ships. Mediterranean Shipping Company is the answer. Well done, everybody who got that one. Moving on to question number 13. The Marella Discovery was originally a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. What was her name? I went on this cruise ship and it was so cool to look up the old cruise ship when she was Royal Caribbean, and they said, you know, this is the fastest, biggest, best cruise ship for Royal Caribbean ever, blah, blah, blah. And you look at it now and she is such a tiny cruise ship. She is the best. I love that it's got this inside pool. I really, really like that. It's got a big atrium. It's got a promenade deck. It's got massive, big dining room. And we have a correct answer here. We have got Splendor of the Seas. Well done to everybody who did get that one. We've got quite a lot of comments on that one. That one has surprised me. I thought that one was tricky. Her sister, Legend of the Seas, went on to become Marella Discovery 2. They're pretty much the same. So if you've cruised on Discovery, you'll probably like Discovery 2. And if you've cruised on Discovery 2, you'll probably like Discovery 1. Same goes with the Explorer cruise ships. Explorer 1 and 2, pretty much the same. Moving on to question number 14. What is a Friends of Bill W meeting on a cruise? I remember seeing this and being very, very confused the first time I saw it, because I never knew what this was. Friends of Bill W. Anyone? Yay, it is an AA meeting, Alcoholics Anonymous. Well done to everybody who got that one. I think that's good that they have Alcoholics Anonymous meetings on cruise ships. It must be nice for people to meet up. So we have got loads of correct answers for AA meetings. So there's Friends of Bill W, which is Alcoholics Anonymous. There is Friends of Dorothy, which is an LGBT group. We have, what's the other one? There's one for narcotics. I can't remember. Friends of something else. There's that one too. So always wondered, Alcoholics Anonymous. Yes, well done everybody who got Alcoholics Anonymous. On to 15, which cruise ship has real grass lawns on board their cruise ships? I do think this is a nice idea. I always like it when there's plants and things around. In where I work, I mean, that's a good point actually. Where I work, I have a number of plants on my desk. They may die during this time, which is pretty sad. I've looked after those plants for about 4 years, but now we're all working from home. I hadn't really thought about that. That's sad. Well done to everybody who has put celebrity. Yes, celebrity. Hello to people who are joining me from Facebook too. This is exciting to be able to stream on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. You can re-watch this on YouTube. It will just get lost on Facebook, but it's nice to have it on both places at the same time. So thank you for joining me here. Moving on now to, how many passengers does P&O's Britannia hold? At the moment, she's the biggest cruise ship for P&O, but their new cruise ship Iona is coming soon, and she will be quite a bit bigger. So how many passengers does P&O Britannia's cruise ship hold? Dun dun dun. Approx 3,500. I've written down 3,600. So I'm gonna say if you're within 1,000 of 3,600, I'm gonna say that you can have a point. I think that's fair. Within 1,000 of 3,600. Well done to everybody who guessed 3,000, 3,800. Yeah, well done, everybody. I think that's a good thing. Okay, moving on to this one, which is not a trick, but it is a little bit of a trick. True or false, some people can cruise to Cuba. True or false, some people can cruise to Cuba. Where you're from may affect your thoughts on this question, but can some people still cruise to Cuba? True or false? All vote now. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, we've got loads of correct answers here. True, 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 true. Yes. True. Well done to everybody who put true. It is true. It's, I mean, Americans can't cruise to Cuba anymore, but there's no reason why I can't cruise to Cuba. The problem really is that most cruise lines have pulled out of Cuba. They're not really stopping there anymore. Or the American cruise lines can't stop in Cuba. And the thing is if a cruise goes to Cuba, it can't go to America on the same trip. So you can't have a cruise that goes from the UK to New York and down to Cuba. That's not allowed. So there are some cruises that still go to Cuba. Some go from the UK to Cuba, mostly with the cruise line Fred Olsen, who are one of our kind of older cruise lines. So yeah, I've got a comment here that says some people, meaning who can't. Americans can't. If you're from America, you can't cruise to Cuba. Some people, I've got some comments here that say that that's perfect. No comments. There's not many cruise lines anymore where you can cruise to Cuba, but there are a few British ones. If you're not American, you can still cruise to Cuba. Yeah, it's just a bit more difficult now. If ever you do get the chance to go to Cuba, though, definitely do it. I mean, Fiona has raised a very good point. At the moment, no one can cruise anywhere. That is a very good point. Do Marella still go to Cuba? Well, I'm not actually sure about this one. I thought that they did, but I can't see any itineraries on their website right now of cruises that include Cuba. Not sure if that's just everything that's going on at the moment, but I couldn't find any. They definitely have done in the past, but we'll have to see about the future. Everything could change in 6 months. So yeah, at the moment, I'm not too sure, but there are some cruises that still go to Cuba. So the answer is true. Some people can cruise to Cuba. On to question number 18. The Queen Mary is now a hotel. Where is she? Where is the Queen Mary? I remember touring this ship. We stayed on board for 1 night. I think my mum can probably tell me the answer because she's in here. And it was cool. It was really, really cool. You get to learn all about the history of the ship and you get to do these tours, and it's all very, very surreal, and it doesn't quite, it is a hotel, but it doesn't feel quite like a hotel. It doesn't feel quite like a cruise ship as I know a cruise ship, but very glad that you can go and stay on board. Very exciting. So the answer is Long Beach, California. And my mum says 2 nights. I stayed on board for 2 nights. In Long Beach, California. Very, very exciting. California feels a very long way away for me right now. I'm down on the south coast of England. The sun is shining. That's as close as we're going to get to California right now. But yeah. Hey, are you using vMix? I'm not using vMix. I'm using StreamYard, which I think is like a baby version of vMix. I did a 12-hour live stream recently with my friends Ben and David, and I think they use vMix, and it looked so confusing. StreamYard is pretty much, I click on the buttons, the comments come up, I click on the buttons, the questions come up, and then I just talk to you guys. That's pretty much it, and that's kind of what I want from live streaming. I'm not too much into all of this techie stuff. So I'm using StreamYard. Isn't it haunted? If anything is haunted, the Queen Mary is haunted. Yes, it depends if you believe in that stuff. There's a lot of ghost stories. There's horrible stories about people who've died on board, but that's what you get when a cruise ship's so old. Things like that happen. So I'm in California. Hello to California. It's so funny that this here, me in the UK, can be streamed to California. Just, that's incredible. I know you're all real people and you're all watching this, but very, very strange. Thank you for tuning in from California. That's very exciting. How many decks does the Symphony of the Seas have? Any guesses on Symphony of the Seas? I'm going to have to check the answer because I don't remember. She's a big cruise ship, that's for sure. I'd love to cruise on a cruise ship like Symphony of the Seas. Oh, we've got a lot of different answers here. A lot of different answers. Ooh, depends if we're counting. Yeah, I'm counting all passenger and crew only decks. So I'm counting any kind of deck that's usable. Not sure if that changes your answer, but the answer is 18 if you're counting all passenger and crew decks. I see an answer that says up here 15 passenger decks. So if you put 15 or 18, I think I'm going to give you a point because maybe I wasn't very, very clear in that answer. So 15, you can have a point, and I'm going to give you a point for 18 because I think that is what is right. I think so. You can have points. You can just have points. I don't think I'd be very good at trivia in real life, like on a cruise ship, because I'd be too generous with the points. I'd be like bonus points for everything. But this doesn't matter. I'm afraid I don't have any prizes because I don't have any prizes and I can't go out and get any prizes and I can't send them to you anyway. So you're just going to have to deal with my respect. So hopefully that's good enough. On now to question number 20. What is the AquaDuck on a Disney cruise ship? This one is, there's a few answers where I'm going to give you points for this one. So your channel is our prize. Well, if you want hundreds of cruise related videos, then your prize is, yeah, your wish is my command. I've got that here. We've got answers. Water slide, slide, water slide. Disney call it a aqua coaster, like a water coaster. So if you have water slide or a roller coaster, I'm going to give you both of those points because it's kind of a water slide roller coaster. So if you have slide, you can have that. Water slide, you can have that. If you have roller coaster, I think you can have that too. So does that bring us, are we at the end? That brings us to the end of our cruise trivia. I'm doing pretty well at fitting this within an hour. That's kind of the time I've set up for myself, and it's been 57 minutes, 58 minutes now. Please let me know how many you got out of 20. I'm going to get rid of that question there, and then you can all just see my name there, Emma Cruises. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do. I'm going to be bringing you a new trivia like this every week for the foreseeable, in addition to my normal videos that I do on Sundays. I'm going to be just trying to keep things light, and we will be cruising again, so we're going to need all of these cruise tips and things that I normally do on the channel. We've got 19, 16, 4, 16, 14, 2 right. Oh, don't be sad about 2 right. Honestly, I think I'd get about 2 right if I wasn't looking up these answers. So impressed with 10 out of 20, better than I thought, and I learned something too. That is brilliant. I think that's what this all is about. We're all winners for joining Emma Cruises. Yes, you are. You're all winners for just joining me here. You cheer me up. I'm quite a people person, I think, and it's really odd for me to be inside. I'm working from home, but no one phones me really or talks to me. So I need to get out some of this cruise stuff. It's quite hard when cruising is done. Wait, it's ending. I wanted to do one. I just got here. I'm sorry. It has been almost a full hour. You can watch this on catch up. If you have missed anything, you can watch this again. They're going to be live on my channel for the rest of time, I think. I hope you guys are all okay. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for your kind words about the trivia. I will keep it up, and then who knows how long we'll do this for. We can do this forever if you want. So please let me know. Maybe I will do slightly different things at some point. I might do, I don't know. Please let me know if you have any kind of ideas. Thank you for watching this. I think I'm going to head off now. I really appreciate all your nice comments. You guys are really, really just, you are so lovely. Highlight of the week. Thank you, Mr. Wig and Dave. It wouldn't be the same without you. So please do come back. Same time next week. I will see you all later. Thank you for watching this. And don't forget to subscribe. Please give this a thumbs up so YouTube will show you it again. and I'll see you next week. Go and have dinner or lunch or breakfast or wherever in the world you are. Have something, have a drink, have a good day, and I'll see you later. Bye.